Hey Kumph Ramblers, it's me Kumph-E, the greatest, smartest Bucs fan on the entire internet, and today we are going to do my 2026 NFL draft review for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gonna see if I like them, if I dislike them, what grade will I give them, how exactly will they fit in this team. If you like this video, subscribe to Kumph-E Rambles, follow us from TikTok, press those post notifications to get notified every time I upload a video. Go get some Kumph-E clothes. The Kumph-E's clothes on the entire internet, amazing designs, amazing prices. Go get yourself a shirt, it will be in the description below, and use code KUMPH11 on W to get 10% off of all W products. W is a sugar-free, jitter-free product that keeps you energized and focused on everything you do throughout your day. It's a delicious product. Go try it. Check it out. It works like a charm. Go use code KUMPH11 on W to get 10% off of all W products. Thanks, W, for working on this channel. Now let's get into this video. Who else to start with than the Buccaneers' first-round pick, Rueben Bain Jr. out of Miami. Just unbelievable pick for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who would have thought this man would have been at 15 when most people were mocking him at either after the college football season top 5 and right before the draft top 10 at least. There's no way he was getting out of the top 10, and he somehow dropped to 15. Rueben Bain won the Ted Hendricks Award for obviously the best defensive end in college football and won the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He's 21 years old, not old at all. He's 262 pounds. 6'2". His arm is 30 inches. His hand is 9 inches, and his wingspan 77 inches. Obviously, one of the whole things people were pointing at is that his wingspan is relatively short. Don't think that's going to matter. His stats last year in his final year in college was he played all 16 games, including the playoff games. Solo, he got 30 solo tackles, 24 assisted tackles, which combines to 54 for the year. And his total tackles for loss is 15.5, sacks 9.5, adding on the 1 interception and 1 forced fumble. Unbelievable year. In that college football playoff run, he was just unstoppable. No one can stop him. Really carrying Miami, or doing a big load of carrying for Miami to bring them to that national championship where they just fell short to Indiana. Just an unbelievable pick for Tampa Bay. Not really much to say. One of the easiest grades you can give any pick in this draft, really, an A++. Just seriously, unbelievable pick for Tampa. Cannot say anything bad about it. So yeah, I'm going to give it an A++. Coming up next, we have the second-round pick for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is Josiah Trotter, a linebacker out of Mizzou. Josiah Trotter is a very interesting pick when it comes to the Bucs fan base. A lot of people like it. A lot of people don't like it. It's like a weird kind of in-between pick, where people like it and they understand why that was picked, and some people don't like it because it's like, well, about the other options there. I do lean heavily towards I like it because it does fill out a lot of stuff that the Buccaneers had huge problems with when it comes to defensive, especially in the linebacker position. But before we get into that, let's give some of the attributes he has. He is 21 years old, same age as Rueben Bain. He is 6'2", same height as Rueben Bain, funny enough. His weight, he weighs 237 pounds. His arm length is 32 inches. His hand length is 10 inches. And his wingspan is 77 inches. Still, very good size for a linebacker. Games, he had played 12 games. He had 43 solo tackles, 41 assisted tackles, combining for 84. He has 13 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. No interceptions, no forced fumbles. Still, I do think this is a relatively good pick. Is it better than if it was like C.J. Allen or anyone like that? No, there were a couple more linebackers that were available there for Tampa to pick, and it probably would have gotten a better reaction by Bucs fans. But honestly, who cares about what the fans think as long as it's good? But he'll fit definitely more into the linebacker position that Servassier played, where he was really heavily targeted by running backs, because you notice anytime a running back got big yardage, it was usually on that side of Servassier was on. Heavy example, Travion Henderson in that Patriots game. Now, Josiah Trotter is more of a run-stopping, pass-rushing linebacker, which is not a bad thing at all. It could still very well fit. We did get a better pass defending linebacker in offseason in Alex Anzalone. Still, he's older, but he's a better pass defending linebacker than Servassier is, and last year, Levante David. So I do think Josiah Trotter will definitely fit a spot in this defense. I don't know if he'll start instantly, but he'll definitely fit a spot. He will be battling with Christian Roseboom to get the starting job, but I will give this pick a B. I get it's not the best we could have possibly gotten for this team, but it still fits a very big problem they had, which was run stopping past the line of scrimmage. So I will give Josiah Trotter a B for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick. Next, we're going to be talking about the Bucs' third-round pick, Ted Hurst, wide receiver out of Georgia State. Ted Hurst is I love this pick. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it to death. Please give me more of this. Ted Hurst is one of my favorite picks of the entire second day. I just absolutely love this pick. Now let's go over attributes before I keep sucking him off. He is 21 years old. He weighs 206 pounds. His height is 6'4". His arm length is 32 inches. His hand length is 9 inches, and his wingspan is 79 inches. Absolute beast of a wide receiver. Obviously, he can gain some pounds. Maybe he is a little lanky, I guess. But the thing is, he's probably going to do that. There's still a whole lot of offseason left, so there's nothing to really worry about there. His stats last year, in his last season in Georgia State, he played all 12 games, had 71 receptions, 1,004 yards, 14.1 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns, and 83.7 yards per game. He is the highest drafted Georgia State player ever, which is kind of cool. And he is just going to be a beast for Tampa Bay. He is going to be the next X receiver. If you don't know what an X receiver is basically, look, Mike Evans. Receiver that can be used in jump balls, one-on-ones down the field. That's basically what a X receiver is. Very excited for this. He is not going to have to compete for any roster spot because we don't have anyone else on our roster to compete with him. Every other receiver is a slot receiver. He is the only X on the team. So I am so excited to see him play. I could look for him to be the late season receiver to have an insane year. Like Ladd McConkey and Puka Nacua, maybe not to that level, but similar to that. Watch him to have an insane season this next year. Just unbelievably excited for this. I'm giving this an easy A. Just seriously, one of my favorite picks of this entire draft, but you're going to see later that it's not even the second highest grade of this draft. That's just how good I'll tell you later, but A, easy A, just unbelievable pick. Just seriously, Jason Licht so far is cooking. And the next pick, you thought the glaze was over. You thought the glaze river dried up. You thought the glaze was done. No, open up a donut factory, bitch. The glaze continues because the fourth pick was Keontae Scott, cornerback out of Miami. Unbelievable pick. Just a second to third round like player falling to you in the fourth and you being able to pick him is unbelievable. He is 24 years old, so the oldest pick of their draft. But if you're going to get an older player like this, you get him in the fourth. He is 5'11", basically 6 foot. He is 193 pounds, has a 31-inch arm, has a 9-inch hand, and a 76-inch wingspan. He played 14 games last year, had 42 solo tackles, 22 assisted tackles, 64 combined, 13 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, both being pick sixes, and 2 forced fumbles. Just a really good year last year in general for Keontae Scott. Love this so much. Seriously, love this. You get him teamed up with Ruben Bain again, his college teammate. Just seriously, a player that should not have fell to the fourth round like that, and he did. This is an easy A+ for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only question is where exactly is he going to fit? What I think they're going to do is they might move Jacob Parrish to the nickel spot to make up for Jamel Dean being gone, and then you do whatever with Keontae Scott, Zion McCollum, and Benjamin Morrison. Whatever you have to do with that, you have to figure that out yourself and hope that Benjamin Morrison gets better and Zion McCollum does not have a disaster war crime year like he did last year. But either or, love this pick. We'll leave it up to the coaches and the team to figure that out, but I love this pick. A+, easy. Easy A+. Not an A++, but an A+. Just an absolute steal. Amazing value out of this pick. Just seriously, love it so much. And for the next pick, the Buccaneers pick DeMonte Capehart, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Now, this is a thing, right? We're starting to get to the picks where they're depth picks or they just won't make the roster. And again, that is not a bad thing. That doesn't define a draft entirely. Because let's be honest, teams pick who they hope to be starters from like 1 to 4. Besides that, if you're in the 5th or 6th round or 7th round especially, like really 6th or 7th round especially, you're not expecting, if you're a fan, you're not expecting this dude to be a superstar, right? You're expecting, even the 5th round, you're expecting a depth piece. That's what you're expecting when you're picking in this type of range. So I'm gonna grade it like that. I'm gonna grade it and I'm going to talk about it in that way. Now, DeMonte Capehart, he is 23 years old. He is 6'4", 313 pounds, a beast of a man, absolutely massive. He has a 10-inch hand, a 33-inch arm, and an 82-inch wingspan. Last year, he only played 12 games, but Clemson only really had to play 12 games. He had 12 solo tackles, 9 assisted tackles, 21 combined tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 2 passes deflected. This is a really good player in general when it comes to depth. He will be a very helpful depth piece. And again, every fan hopes for a superstar in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round. Every fan does hope for one. but again, you're usually not going to. So if you can get a consistent, good depth piece for your team, which Tampa heavily needs, especially defensively and offensive line, we'll get to that later, it is a good pick. And again, don't ever rank these picks or talk about these picks like you're expecting a superstar. If you get one, cool. But if you don't rank it like that. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to rank this pick as a B-. Again, DeMonte Capehart, he's a big dude, and I'm hoping that if either someone gets hurt or if they decide to put him in there, he's not going to be a complete just liability for the team. He's going to help actually either get pressure or be able to knock passes down or just be helpful to the team. That's all you can really hope for. So a B- for this pick is pretty good. And it's not a bad pick by any means, but it's not a great pick either. So I'll give it a B-. I think that's quite fair, though. So now let's move on to the next pick. When you thought the glaze was done and it was drying out and it was sucked by the ginormous goy monster out west, don't you worry. It got spit back in. So it's a very, very fun one. It is guard Billy Stroff out of Notre Dame. And I'll explain why this is a fun pick in a little bit. Billy Stroff is 22 years old. He's 6'4", 310 pounds. Some Bucs fans argue he is a little small for a lineman, but I don't really think that's going to be that much of an issue. He has a 32-inch arm, a 10-inch hand, and 80-inch wingspan. Relatively big, pretty big dude still, even if some people want to argue he's small for a lineman. He played 7 games last year on 436 sacks. He gave up 0 sacks. I get he plays in Notre Dame, and they play mostly nobodies. Anytime they play as somebody, they lose. But regardless, doesn't matter where you play or who you play. That's a very impressive thing to do. It's not give up a sack on that many snaps, even if it's only 7 games. That's still most of the season in college football. So, I love this pick for very specific reasons. Last year, the Bucs had a horrible problem when it comes to injuries in the O-line, and especially in the guard position. You have where Cody Mock got hurt and missed the entire season, basically. Ben Bredesen never really had issues with injury, but he had to be moved around. Same with Graham Barton, which was seriously terrible for the line. It was like a whole mismatch, arts and crafts version of an O-line. When healthy, they have one of the best O-lines in the league. So getting someone that can replace them and not have to move around any of the other key guys in the O-line can be very helpful. And especially if Cody Mock leaves after next year to free agency, he can be the replacement. You won't have to draft another one of them. So if I really like this pick, I'll give this an easy B+. To get someone this talented, and for that reason specifically, which was a ginormous issue last year, this late into the draft, is an absolute steal. And this will also help where you don't have to play Michael Jordan or Dan Feeney or anyone like that throughout the entire line. So love this pick a whole lot. Give it an easy B+. And sadly, this video won't be all glaze. The glaze got entirely sucked out, and it's just in a little bottle because, hey, the whole draft basically was really good, but it had to end on a whimper. It sadly ends with Bauer Sharp, tight end out of LSU. I'm going to really pull the bandage off. I hate this pick entirely. I get it's a 6th-round pick, but you trade away your 7th-round pick, which could be more depth for this, and he's not even the best tight end on that board. He's 22 years old. He's 6'5". He's 249 pounds. He's a pretty big guy. He has a 31-inch arm, 9-inch hands, and a 77-inch wingspan. He is a big dude, a very big dude, but he's not that great of a blocker in college when he was in LSU. And he plays 13 games, 24 receptions, 252 yards, 10.5 yards per reception, and 2 touchdowns. He's not that great of a receiving tight end, and he's not that good of a blocking tight end. So I really don't understand this pick, but I also don't get why some fans are getting so pent up about this. This is going to be like a special teams guy at most, and I don't really understand. If he's a special teams guy, it's not an entire miss. This is never going to be a pick to replace K-Dine. This was never going to be a pick to make him an all-star tight end. If he's good enough to be on play, cool. But if he's a special teams guy, even better. Like, this is not going to be anything I'm never going to see any of these picks and be like, yeah, damn it, we wasted a pick on a 6th-round tight end. Yeah, cool, we got Michael Trigg, but Michael Trigg's a horrible blocker, and might as well just go with Cade Otton and Devin Culp and Payne Durham. It's not anything crazy. Bauer Sharp, gonna give it a C- because I don't ever really give any drafts a D or F. So I'll give this a C-, nearing a D. Don't like this pick at all. Think it's a complete waste of, yes, it's a 6th-rounder, but I think it's a complete waste, especially when you trade up and get rid of your 7th-rounder for this. Clearly something has something to do with this. They have to see something in this guy that none of us are saying. But Bauer Sharp, the glaze is gone when it comes to this pick. C- easily. Almost was a D, but again, D and F. That is a very, very specific grade for very, very bad picks. So I'll give it a C minus. But anyway, still, overall, good draft. And wow, that's the end of the review of every player, where they might be, how I think of them, what's my opinion on all of it. I will give the entire draft as a whole a B plus or A minus. I'll give it a B plus. A B plus, obviously, when it comes to a full draft class as a collective, is very, very good. But having a full A, an A or an A plus even, or an A plus draft class means you have to basically have hit on every draft pick. And every draft pick has to be perfect in any way. No draft is ever an A plus in my eyes. I'll give this draft a B plus. That's going to be one of the better draft classes in the entire league, in my opinion, when it comes to the grade. But I'll give this Bucs draft class a very high grade. Very good as a whole. Every player, except for Bauer Sharp, has a space in this team and overall has some sort of a job I can see that is very useful for the team. But hell, even maybe Bauer Sharp is a very good all-pro special teamer. We'll just have to sit and wait. We don't really know anything about this. This is all just opinionated. I'm maybe just completely wrong. Maybe Bauer Sharp is the best player in this class, and that Ruben Bain sucks. That's not possible. Ruben Bain's going to be an all defensive player next year, defensive rookie of the year next year. But I love this draft. I think Jason really shows that he has his own issues when it comes to midseason pickups or free agency, but he never has a problem with draft picks. That is something he has not had a problem with in years. So anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to Kumph-E, follow Scream on TikTok, and that's about it. Go Bucks.